It's live.
All righty.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining our meeting today. If you are on Facebook and you're in our meeting, we would definitely ask that you go and share our live stream to your audience so that they can join as well, which is what I'm going to do right now, because I know my audience is waiting. All right, great. That's shared. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, I know we've had a few changes in the chamber. So we have Cheryl with us today and we have Leslie. So I don't know which one of them want to go over the procedures as they normally do. I think Leslie stepped out of her office. Okay, so while we're waiting on them to come back, we want to do some introductions of our audience that have joined us via Zoom. And we also want to say welcome to everyone that have joined us via Facebook. So we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Kiana James, and I am the chair of this group, the Business and Entrepreneur Development Committee for the Pearland Chamber of Commerce. And I'm the owner of Friendly Faces Senior Care, which we provide care services for our dear seniors wherever they live, helping them to live and be as independent as possible. And I want to introduce my co-chair, Mrs. Brianne Salcedo, and she'll tell us about herself.
Good morning, everyone. I am the proud owner of Action Coach Pearland and Action Coach Friendswood. And I also reside in Pearland. My kids go to school here. So I love this city and I am proud of everything the Chamber has done and this committee and Chamber has done to get us all through COVID. And so excited about this series today. A little bit about Action Coach. What we do is help, I should say, guide business owners to attaining freedom of life and enjoying what they do every day. And creating a better community around them. So excited to be here and let's get going.
Awesome. I'm going to skip over our panelists because we'll let them introduce themselves shortly. But I have a Tess Hammock. Hi, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and who you represent.
Hi, I'm Tess Hammock. I'm with Community First Emergency Room. I'm in their business development department. And, you know, we're relatively new still, so we're just looking to get out there and meet everyone we can. So, hi.
Hi, and thanks for joining us again. We also have Joshua. And you are still on mute, Joshua.
Yeah, I got it. How you doing? My name is Joshua Silva. I'm a new resident to Pearland. I moved here from Massachusetts. My company is J Silver Brands. We specialize in web design and digital marketing.
Welcome. And are you a member of the chamber?
Not as of yet.
Oh, well,
I was
we
invited.
Welcome you to join. Put my name down so I can get my chamber bucks. I'm just playing.
I invited him, Kiana. I invited him. Just kidding. I like your competitive nature, though.
All right. I see Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Birdie. I couldn't figure out how to change my last name on my Zoom. I'm with Better Staffing Services of Pearland, and I'm also an ambassador with the Pearland Chamber. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. And Miss Ann Struhall.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I got back to my office and realized I had no internet, so I had to go to Plan B. So I'm Ann Struhall. I own Struhall and Associates. I'm an HR consultant, and I'm also chair of the board of the Pearland Chamber this year.
Awesome, thank you. We have Miss Tony Vale. And you're, yeah.
Yes. Good morning, all. Tony Vale. I am here with the Chamber, Vice President of Business Retention and Expansion, and I am very happy to be here with you guys this morning. And I'll go ahead and do. Let me go ahead and do the safety.
Yes.
So we don't have anybody here in the office with us, but We just, when we're on a meeting or in a Zoom, we just want to make sure that you guys understand if anything were to happen or we had an emergency, you know where to exit in your own facility or your own homes, and we know that you do. And that's really all that we want to go over.
Awesome. And I see Jacqueline. Thank you for joining us again.
Hi, how are you, everybody? I'm sorry I'm a little late. It's because I didn't have the link. And I had to actually ask Walden, and he sent it to me. I don't know if I'm added to the listserv, so maybe later on, maybe I can check with somebody else to see if I'm added to the listserv. So that way I can have the links for the meetings. But anyway, hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here.
Can you tell us where you're from? Tell everybody.
San Jacinto College. I'm a mathematics department chair from San Jacinto College.
Awesome. And put your email, if you're okay, in the chat. And then our ladies from the chamber can get it and make sure that you're on the email list.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. I'll do that.
Did we leave off anyone?
Hey, Kiana, I was going to ask real quick, was
Yes.
an email sent out for this committee meeting today?
I know it was on, so I got the link from the events page. So each month the chamber sends out the events for the month. And so that's where the Zoom link was listed.
Yeah, that's where I picked it up because I didn't see an email with any kind of packet. So I didn't know if I missed something, but I was in a hurry trying to get logged on. So
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they normally send out a separate one just for this meeting or not, but we can check, but it's definitely on the events page.
yeah.
And I'll just take ownership of that going forward. I can send out a link to the participants if you guys would like.
All right, thanks, Tony. Yeah, if you'll just check in to see, I thought that there was normally an email going out, but if you just check to see, and if we don't need one, we just need to make sure people have the links to get in. Like I know that Jackie had some trouble and I too had to go back and find it in the events.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take ownership of that this time.
Okay. Thank you.
About that, guys.
Okay, so we are going to turn it over to our speakers. We're going to introduce them and let them tell us about themselves, who they represent, what they do. Anyone else not speaking, I'm going to ask, can you please put yourself on mute so we can I know I got my phone buzzing here, so that we can not have any background noise. Okay, so we'll turn it over to Melinda. If you would just tell us who you are, who you represent, and kind of what your goal is for the meeting for today.
Okay, well, my name is Melinda Torreson. I actually serve as the president and COO at Metter Staffing Services. I've been doing this, now for 33 years. And just really appreciate the invitation. Of course, I love the Pearland Chamber. Was a resident of Pearland for 20 plus years. It's where we raised our kids. Of course, I just love the entire Southeast, Harris County region, and of course, Brazoria. And just, Pearland is a significant player for us here at Metter Staffing Services. We have so many just amazing customers that we work with. Love the Pearland Chamber, and just, appreciate again the invitation and just the opportunity to just be a partner and a friend with the chamber. So thank you so much for having me here. And I guess goals is, this is definitely, looking at some of the questions and of course the topic of conversation. This is what we've been living and breathing for the last 16 months. Even though I've been doing this for 33 years, I've never seen anything like what we've been through. I have no words for it. So it's almost like, what world are we living in, and how did I end up here? So, but look forward to having a conversation with Nick, and hopefully just having a really good, just a good dialogue about a really significant topic right now.
Amen to that, sister. All right, I'll turn it over to Nick. Just tell us who you are, who you represent. Tell us where you are, where you calling from today or joining us from today, and what you hope to get out of this meeting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll start with where I am because I'm actually on a family vacation, but I didn't want to miss out on being able to talk with you guys. So I'm running around. I'm trying to get the best internet connection. So I'm currently in Ocean City, New Jersey, originally from Philadelphia, but I live in San Diego now. And so my business is called Digital Champions, and I help businesses leverage social media and video marketing so they can generate more leads without spending tons of time or money. And I'm really excited today because I love digital marketing, and there are just so many amazing tools that we can utilize to help. And so, I always get really passionate and energetic about this stuff because I've seen what it can do. I've seen what it's done for me. I've seen what it's done for the people that I've worked with. And so it's always my, when I have an opportunity to share and teach and talk, I have to say yes. I don't care that I'm on vacation. So here I am, excited to share with all of you guys. So thank you so much, Kiana, for having me. And I really look forward to diving in.
Awesome. And thank you so much for joining us today. And I know Nick through my home care marketing world, and he helps us with our digital marketing, and he's helped us with getting some campaigns together to recruit for caregivers online. And so I know he knows a lot about recruiting and online marketing. And so that's why I wanted to invite him today, because he's been a big help to our organization. And so definitely wanted to let you guys know about that. So today we're talking about recruiting. And as Melinda said, it's a hot topic. COVID has changed so many things. Our title for today is How to Find and Hire the Right Employee for Your Team. And so if you're not in recruiting or a business owner, you've probably heard it. If you are in recruiting or a business owner, you're definitely feeling it, especially dependent on what the market or industry is that you're in. But just if you don't know, I'll give you a little background, and then our experts can get into it a little bit more. But when COVID happened, we know that that's pretty much changed so many things in so many different capacities. And one of them was employees and workers. So where it changed a lot of things for companies, where companies were totally shut down, they couldn't open, they couldn't have their customers in. Many of the employees got laid off, unfortunately. They couldn't find work. Many of them went on unemployment. So when things did start opening back up and those space capacities, restrictions were lifted, and people were starting to be able to go back out, we never really saw a big influx of the workers coming back. And so it's been a trickle down effect amongst, I thought originally it was just in home care, but it's happening in so many industries, especially like your restaurant industries or manufacturing industries. I'll just give you an example. I was taking my mom out to go car shopping because she needed a car, and there are not many cars on the lot. So if you've been car shopping, you'll see a direct effect of what's happening because there's not enough workers in the market. They don't have cars. Some of the salespeople were joking because they had used cars on the showroom floor, which I've never seen before. And some of them were saying it's so bad that they were thinking of displaying their own cars, putting their own cars out there. And I spoke with other people in the car industry, and they were saying it's because they can't get parts, they can't get the cars, but it's just that they don't have enough workers. And so this is happening all over America. And so it's a big, big problem. And there's just, debates and disputes going back and forth, especially against different political party lines on what's causing it, what's the solution. But what we really want to focus on today is, as employers, as business owners, as those that are in recruiting, what things can we do with this current market that we're in or environment? What can we do to try and attract talent to our organizations? So that's what we're going to discuss today. So we have a number of questions that we're going to ask, and this is just a loose, I'll call on y'all between Nick and Melinda. If you want to answer first, that's fine. But our first question is, many businesses have recognized how challenging hiring is at this time. What are some solutions for hiring in this current climate? And I'll start with Nick because your face is showing first.
Great reason. Sure. Yeah. So the big thing is really understanding right now that the same way that we attract clients is the same way that we need to attract employees. And so it's coming from almost this sales aspect of our messaging becomes so important in understanding who is the exact person that we're talking to and communicating that directly to them. And so we may have different target audiences of different types of employees that we want to attract. And so we don't want to just have one, I see this all the time. It's like, we have jobs. Like, okay, so, the idea is we want to make it about them. What are the benefits for them, and really speaking to them where somebody reads it and they go, oh my gosh, this is for me. This is what I want to do. And so the more that we understand our audience, who we want to target, and really focus on exactly what it is that their desires are and what they want, we're going to be able to sell. Because again, that's the big thing, is we need to become excellent salespeople in the recruiting process and marketers, because that's what this process is. We need to be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do, step out, be heard, be seen, so that we can make a brand for ourselves, create that brand awareness, and we can even leverage our current employees to help them market for us and the reasons that they want to work for you. So we can gather information from them and then present it to everyone. So the more that we really understand the target audience that we're trying to attract and focus on that messaging, the better results that we're going to get.
Awesome. I agree. And I like the point of how you talked about sales, because that's something that people don't always think of. Like, they're selling to their clients, they're selling to their customers, they're kind of bending over backwards, they're innovative, and they have all these things, but you've got to become a salesman to attracting new talent in your employees as well. And sometimes it's not always the attitude. And so we want to change that narrative and that approach when it comes to attracting and recruiting. Belinda.
Yeah. Can I add
go ahead,
something to that
Brianne.
real quick? Yes, I wanted to add something because I think 99% of my clients are hiring right now and having this exact problem. And so, Nick, I love how you said that it's the sales process. It's what's in it for me, for the employee that you're attracting. But one thing that has been most essential is, does your internal organization match the message and the culture that you're giving out to the new talent or the candidates? Because a lot of time retention won't happen. So you have to make sure that the current staff that you have on board and the current internal operations are prepared for this culture and this, whatever you're promoting in your sales pitch to new, that your existing already performs like that and understands the values of the company.
Mhm.
Exactly. And Melinda, what are your thoughts, comments?
Well, I was going to say, okay, so Nick, I think you and I would be really good friends. You are completely speaking my love language with everything is messaging, messaging, messaging. And, the beauty of being in the staffing industry is we have multiple customers. So it's not just the client that you're working with trying to place the individual, but it is the candidate. And then once you've placed that candidate, they are, in actuality, they're Matter Staffing's employees. So it was interesting, I just really piggyback on what Nick said. It's so much about communication and your brand and your messaging. And what I would say too is, first and foremost, I think where we've spent so much time and energy in conversation has been with the client, trying to get so many clients up to speed with, this is the reality. This is the new world that we're living in, and you can't do what you used to do. You've got to get up to speed and change your mindset and just your whole mode of thinking and how you're going to attract, the candidate for you, because they are being bombarded. They have so many opportunities. And so I kind of piggyback too on what you had said, Brianna, is my answer would really be, if you're the customer, once you get that candidate, and if you have the miracle of all miracles happening where they've selected you to go to work for, you better have your act together. You better have your internal onboarding process to your hiring process has got to be it needs to be looked at. You've got to look at from A to Z, from the moment they walk in your door. You're selling them on why they need to come to work for you. So I really just challenge everybody, really take time to, if you've not updated your hiring and onboarding process, you really need to take a look at just all of those just intricate details because they're just so critical right now in the hiring process. So.
And I wrote that down, messaging, messaging, messaging. I like that. I like that. Good. So what are some of the best digital tools, job boards, etc., to assist with the hiring process if you're not yet prepared to hire a recruiter? Melinda, go ahead.
I was going to say, Nick, I mean, this is like your world. I can give a lot of answers. So you definitely need to partner with somebody like Nick. If you're not using a digital platform, you're missing the boat. And I just, even at Matter Staffing, that is really where we spent our time, energy, effort, and investment during COVID. Was we were seeing, okay, we're shifting into a whole new world here. And so, we have a texting platform that engages with candidates. It also engages with our employees who are on assignment, with hundreds of clients throughout, not just the region, but the state and in multiple states across our nation. So a texting platform to engage. I will say, at Matter Staffing Services, the best job board, the one that is most successful for us, especially when we're trying to recruit individuals for a temporary or temp to hire assignment, is Indeed. LinkedIn Recruiter has been for years the best source for us on the direct hire side. But I can't stress enough, and I can't wait to hear what Nick has to say, but a digital platform, you've got to be engaged with technology. You have to have technology, what's the word that I would say, do the artificial intelligence, the kind of the manual, labor, so that your team, your people on the front lines can be that human touch. So we need to take away from our teams anything that can be streamlined from a technology perspective so that your actual people can be engaged with the human element of things. But yeah, Indeed, LinkedIn Recruiter. I would also say we are very, and when COVID launched, I said, you guys, we just got to be out there giving content and helping our community and our clients. So we are all over Facebook. We do a lot of Facebook Lives. We do a lot of client seminars. We're about to, oh my gosh, Nick, you'll probably laugh. We're about to go on TikTok. And we're engaging with some of our young people here at Matter Staffing. They are all about put us out there on TikTok. But I will tell y'all, in the staffing industry across the nation, not just the digital platforms or software platforms that are just so successful, but TikTok is really becoming a huge place to be. And that is a huge attraction for candidates. So you just got to try it, and just put yourself out there. And if it doesn't work, then go and do something different. But you got to put yourself out there and just be known as the expert, be known as, oh my gosh, like Nick is everywhere. You got to call Nick for a job. So that's kind of our success here at Matter Staffing and what we've been doing lately in regards to that specific question. So it's a great question.
Yeah, and I like several things that you said. I was wondering about the LinkedIn. So, and I think it's a great mix because we have Melinda, who's from a professional recruiting company that's going to represent those businesses that are like, I don't want to deal with this. I have the money, I have the budget. I'm going to hire somebody to do it. And then there's a lot of little business owners that they don't have the budget. And so they're struggling trying to do stuff on their own. And so it's a good mix. And that's what makes up of our community, our business, Pearland community. And so we want to have a little bit of something for everyone. Now, you mentioned about that LinkedIn recruiting, which do y'all do training on that? It was so interesting. It's very hard to use.
Yeah.
And there's no phone number. I've been banging my head against the wall, trying to figure out some things on that LinkedIn recruiting.
Yeah. Well, I go back to how Nick introduced himself. It's like, yes, you just have to put just yes. This is, when you're super passionate about something and you have a team that can do it really well.
Yeah.
I think that's just part of what Metter's secret sauce is it's not about, making money. Of course, we're in it for a profit, but it's just about helping each other, and it's, sharing what we're good at. And we have, I would have to say, one of our vice presidents she's probably one of the best recruiters I've ever seen in the entire nation. And she has got LinkedIn Recruiter down pat. So if you need training, just reach out to Jennifer.
I will pay for training.
Connect with me. I'll be more than happy to help y'all out there.
That's good to know. And I love what you talked about TikTok, because that's the new big thing that's in.
Yeah.
And especially depending on who you are recruiting, like my company, we're getting into TikTok, and I'll definitely send you some information, Melinda, because I know someone who does training on TikTok for companies.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, it's fascinating. We're going to sign up for a class, but that's the new thing. I mean, and you look at something like a TikTok and you think, oh, this is silly, but people are tuned in, and there's thousands of people that are tuned in. And many times those are people that you're trying to recruit. All right, Nick. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, quick question. This is probably more for Melinda. This is Ann. So, and not to talk negatively about the Texas government, but with the Workforce Commission and the Workforce Solution sites being closed for so long, and for those smaller employers that maybe don't have the budget to use a recruiter, and they would want to go to the Workforce Commission, are they back up? And because I know with all the unemployment and the stimulus, I know they were really slammed with unemployment claims. And so do you have any idea what's the status? Can these smaller employers go to Workforce Commission, or are they just spinning their wheels trying to get someone through there?
Oh my gosh, Ann, that is such a great question. And I'm going to speak very nicely and politely. It's been a huge frustration the last couple of months that they're still accessible, but not how they used to be, pre-COVID. My recommendation for the small business owner is, for example, Metter Staffing. I think we were at 5 job fairs this week. And so this could be for anyone, a small business owner to mid-sized to, your huge corporations. But we were at the Deer Park Chamber hosted an event Tuesday.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Very successful. There was about 350 candidates came through. There was about 22 employers who had signed up for that event. We were at the Texas City Chamber job fair yesterday, another successful event. So that would be my greatest recommendation right now, is just be in your community. So any job fairs that are available, I want to say that almost all of them are free of charge. And you could see anybody from, for example, Tuesday was Whataburger to Metter Staffing to Pinnacle. So all different types of employers. And so, right now the Texas WorkSource is just, I think they are still closed and you can't go in person, but there are so many more opportunities with organizations who are actually hosting in-person job fairs. That's that's where I would be.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, and so just getting a message that, and Cheryl, if you want to come on, I think our Zoom is going to end and we're going to have to sign back in and then restart on Facebook. Is that correct, Cheryl?
I'm so sorry. I'm transitioning out and I switched my Zoom Pro to somebody else in the office. And so we were on a 40-minute timeline, and it says in 2 minutes, our meeting is going to end whether we're ready or not. So if you want to sign back in, we can start over and relaunch Facebook, because y'all are having such a great conversation. I feel like anybody's really ready for the meeting to end. Is that okay with y'all?
Yeah, because I think
we'll start from the top with all the questions over again.
But is that going to be through Facebook?
You can just go onto Facebook to look at it, or you can use the same link you used to get in again.
Okay, sounds good.
Prefer.
Okay.
We'll just log off and log right back in. Same link.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Thank you so much. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay,
no
thanks.
problem.